Welcome to Melt. I'm Suresh Venkat. On the show today, we take a closer look at the 2023 Kyoorius Creative Awards presented by Z that concluded last week. Over the last 10 years, the awards have been heralded by the industry as the benchmark of creative marketing excellence in India. And this year was no different. The 10th edition of the Kyoorius Creative Awards, or KCA, received more than 3,200 entries, its highest ever. Entries came from all sections of the industry, including brands, networks, specialists, and independent agencies with an aim to win a blue, brass, purple, or black elephant. So, first, let's listen in to some of the jurors about the significance of winning an elephant.
Over last 10 years, definitely Kyoorius has raised the standard of our creative work so much that it balances beautifully well between celebrating what's been created locally and what are the kind of work that we should enter sort of to get a glory in international awards.
I'd always judge a show by the quality of, the reactions to the work, right? I mean, what kind of reactions does the work evoke once it is awarded? So I think in the case of Kyoorius, I've seen a lot of, hey, I wish I'd done that, right? So I think mission accomplished in that sense.
What I've noticed over the years is that sometimes good work inspires similar work, So a lot of ideas somewhere reek of ideas that have been done before. A blue elephant wouldn't reek of any of those things. I mean, that it's a great piece of work. It's an original piece of work.
It is work that you wish you'd done. For me, that qualifies as a blue elephant candidate. Black elephant, of course, would be something that, oh my God, that's fantastic. And, it just is soulful.
I think what's good is the significance of the elephant is still as precious as it used to be, which is saying a lot at a time when there are so many awards and there's so many avenues for your work to be celebrated. But I think it still means something. Even in the way we sat in the jury room, I think there was a seriousness about the fact that, we're not just giving out an award, we're giving out an elephant.
For me, novelty, exploration of something new, pushing the borders. I know we do it on a daily basis. It's very difficult to get stuff approved by clients, get it funded by them. It's difficult because everyone's going through a churn right now. To get something path-breaking is not only about the idea and the execution, it's also about getting it approved and living it every day so that it comes out in its glory. When I see that in a piece, it's when it turns blue for me.
A lot of work that we marketers do obviously has a validation from the growth, business, the across the funnel numbers, metrics that we keep seeing every day. But just to see the art side of it as well, when a lot of thought, work, hard work, blood and soil gets into it. I think in forums like this, when they are appreciated, when they are recognized, and I think especially the Blue Elephant, which recognizes the best of the best work out there, it just gives a lot of moment to pride, and the reason that you come to work every day also for. It's just a huge morale boost for the entire team as well.
Now, before we get into discussing the award-winning work, let's shift focus to one of the other highlights from KCA 23, the Master of Creativity Award. Instituted in 2018, the Master of Creativity Award recognizes a stalwart who has continuously contributed to make the marketing and communication industry more creative in whatever they do. This year, the industry and Kyoorius came together to felicitate someone who frankly needs no introduction. A Padma Bhushan awardee, music composer, record producer, singer-songwriter, musician, multi-instrumentalist and philanthropist, AR Rahman.
I just thought I'll ask him a few questions that bother us, maybe he has the answers. And the first one, Mr. Rahman, is that all of us, from the oldest out here to the youngest there, when we have creative blocks, we normally run to music to unblock it. What do you do?
I get this question quite a lot. If I get a block, I fast. So when you fast, all your desires, everything goes, and then you see the truth.
Right. The second one is what bothers a lot of us out here. You still haven't faced that problem. Is that whenever we try and get creative, somebody comes and tells us, do it in 7 seconds, do it in 10 seconds, do it in 15 seconds. If somebody comes and tells you, Mr. Rahman, you are going to win an Oscar this year, do it in 7 seconds.
I come from the same world. I started with jingles in '87, and I've seen all of you, your forefathers, everybody. I know what you go through, and the competition is getting really tough and tough. I think we'll always find new ways. Now it's AI. No, I think it's an idea. You like it's a speech. You can speak for 1 hour, or you can just speak 2 words. You just work on it more mentally, and then you come up with an idea. And working in jingles actually kind of sharpened my instincts. When you have to grab the audience straight away. Because of that, I kept asking, like people like poets like Javed Akhtar, give me a hook, give me a hook. And one day he just sat and looked at me in the eye. I'm a poet, not a hooker.
KCA 23 also instituted the Usha Award in association with industry body Indian Creative Women. The Usha Award is named after Usha Bhandarkar, an iconic creative of the 1970s who was responsible for some of Indian advertising's most popular work, including the evergreen Lalita Ji commercial. The Usha Award is presented to a young female creative who embodies Usha's talent, passion, and resilience. She will also represent Indian creative women and Kyoorius at the Cannes Lion Festival, accelerating her journey in what we know is going to be an incredible career. After thorough consideration, the jury chose the first winner of this prestigious title, Leena Gupta from Talented.
Usha Bhandarkar was an icon of Indian advertising, and I think over the years, all of the great work in advertising that we remember, love, and continue to sort of refer back to every now and then has always been sort of represented as campaigns that were led by men. The minds behind that were women too, and so it feels great that an award has been named after one such forgotten woman, Usha Bhandarkar, and it's such an incredible honor to be a recipient of one such award as a young woman in the industry. I think it just fortifies the fact that the times are changing.
Now, let's get back to the rest of the elephant winners. With over 3,200 entries, the 47-member jury naturally had a lot on their plate. The judging process began with 2 weeks of online judging and concluded with the first ever judging offsite, where all the jurors were taken to an Alibag resort for 3 days to debate, discuss and deliberate on who deserves an elephant. The comprehensive process produced some fascinating results. This year, there was no winner for the Black Elephant or Best of Show award. Only 81 entries were deemed worthy of a blue elephant. 1 entry won a brass elephant under the Creativity for Good Discipline, and only 5 entries won a purple elephant as part of the Z Equality Awards. Listen in to some reactions from the jurors.
For a blue elephant, we are looking a piece of work which is truly exceptional. There's a certain benchmark, right? It's good that there are few blue elephants. That means you are cutting the benchmark.
No, I think it's just about trying to maintain a high standard. And I think that's good. But they were also very fair.
The benchmarks are there in people's heads, even if they can't be articulated. You do understand what is the kind of work that might take you, far. Maybe it won't even outside, but the kind of work that you would have to produce in order to win. You'll automatically find yourself thinking back to, examples from previous years, etc. So if there has been a dip, I'd say it is reflective of the jury being strict because it has seen work that is not, as a whole pool up to the mark.
At least the reactions and what people spoke of the work that were considered for the black, right? I mean, we realized that, nothing's standing out so much, that people say, hey, this is the benchmark. This is the year of this particular work.
The more disappointment there is, the more valued it will become. And everyone would want to win it. I think it's a good idea. We shouldn't award it for the sake of awarding it. ever.
The beauty of such Grand Prix and Black Elephant also is it's not about what one person feels, right? You brought in the best of the best minds from across the country to a common platform, and everybody had a point of view.
What's happening is that because of this emergence of technology, and as little children we are playing with technology and we're getting obsessed with it, I think we're creating small ideas. I don't think we're creating big ideas that my driver or people on the road would talk about.
I have inherently a lot of respect for shows where you don't give out medals sometimes. It just says that we're unrelenting about what we think is good. Because sometimes that pressure to give is so much that you give something, but that's not necessarily the most deserving thing to get. I'm happy there's no Black Elephant this year. Not because, and it's probably because we didn't have the most standout year where there was a piece of work that ticked almost everything in what we hold as special.
It's unfair that 5 or 4 different jury forums coming together and sort of picking the Black Elephant, because each vertical is known for a specialist. Like you can't be comparing digital with TV or TV with outdoor and vice versa.
Let's now take a closer look at some of the work that won a Blue Elephant. This is the work that the jury has deemed as best practices and benchmarks for the Indian A&M industry. Congratulations to the winners, and remember, you can watch all the winning work at awards.kyoorius.com.
ओ, खाना कब आएगा?
अभी लाया सर, बस 2
टाइम खींचने की आदत से परेशान? ऑर्डर ऑन ज़ेप्टो, ऑन टाइम हमेशा. ज़ेप्टो, 10-minute grocery delivery.
minute.
Actually, when we first conceptualized them, the celebs weren't part of it. So, I thought of this ad and I said, it'd be funny if, the person behind the counter stretches out, the time and the note. And it was about a good few hours later, we said, hey, what if we made them a classical musician, or classical singer? It would be so much more funny. And what actually became the USP of the ad and that, responsible for its success came just a little later after the initial idea. I think it's honest. This is something we've all experienced. And you really need that core of honesty to make a connection. After that, I think it's a really good joke. So, literally everybody I've shown it to always laughs. So I think if you have an honest idea and then you execute it with a really good, concept or joke, you're going to do well.
The task clearly was to get a lot of middle India people, or Bharat as everybody loves to call it, get them to become aware of Truecaller and download the app. But yeah, that was the whole thinking, that let us communicate in the simplest manner possible, that if you get a call that is colored in red, it is likely from a person that you wouldn't want to talk to. And we just dramatize that fact in the film.
If you can figure out what's happening in this picture, Swiggy will give you rupees 1 lakh.
The online food ordering and delivery platform is taking over billboards, newspapers, and the internet with one burning question.
Why is this a Swiggy ad?
Why is this a Swiggy ad? There is no way that's a Swiggy ad.
Here is a graphic designer's theory on why this is a Swiggy ad.
I've seen this campaign and I have no clue what the answer is.
Obviously, as a creative agency, you'd always want to talk about how creatively inspiring this idea is. But always, that one thing that actually doesn't leave the room is conviction, right? And that conviction comes from how hard this idea can work for the brand and the business, and not just for the agency, right? And if you actually sort of figure both the parts of how it works for the brand and the business as much as it works for the agency, you're golden.
This time they expect Diwali sales to surpass 2.5 trillion rupees.
In the travel category, while everyone has been, talking about what they have to offer, but the moment you pitch it against a different category altogether, like in this one, we pitched against the e-commerce, everybody, that in the e-commerce festive period, whether you want to buy shopping or you want to go travel, if the amount is the same. I think with this insight, I think that resonated really well. And to club this with a technology piece, using a very traditional old medium of print and added a layer of technology, I think just make the storytelling more interesting.
In 2011 में इंडिया
won the cup.
पर पहले Oreo launched in India in 2011. So India won the cup in 2011. Oreo launched in 2011. India won the cup in 2011. Oreo launched in 2011. India won the cup in 2011. Oreo launched in 2011. So Oreo launched in 2011.
India won the cup in 2011.
Connection समझ रहे हो ना?
With another Cricket World Cup this year, we actually launched Oreo again.
Presenting Oreo for the first time in India again.
Oreo relaunched to bring back 2011.
This was an idea that came in and made us super uncomfortable. Yeah. And when this was presented to us, we were really wondering, how will it pan out, etc., etc. But I think if an idea makes you uncomfortable, that's a signal that it's going to be great and it's going to be something that the consumers are absolutely going to love.
The book is embedding a patented internet signal aggregator, a cloud-based AI packet broadcaster and assembler service. It combines weak 2G mobile networks around you into one 4G hyperspot. A technology developed for rural India who only have access to 2G connection. Kids could log on to the Everything Book Hyperspot and have access to the entire Vedantu e-learning curriculum for free.
There's just a PR out there which talks about things which are in place, but the reality exists very different to what people actually face. And that's what is this case study all about. The real people, the real problem, the real solution to that problem.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh my god, thanks!
Oh my god!
Guys, just please keep volume to 0.
Fabulous!
कैरम स्नूकर पोकर नहीं खेलता मैं 11 डार्लिंग्स मैं सिर्फ इमोशनल गेम्स खेलता हूँ नेशनल अवार्ड के लिए।
हैरान हो गए इतने कम वक्त में इतना सारा पैसा मैंने कैसे कमा लिया? ज्यादा नहीं, सिर्फ 500 रुपए हर महीने पूरी शिद्दत के साथ इन्वेस्ट करना है। 20 साल में आपका बैंक बैलेंस RRR के बॉक्स ऑफिस कलेक्शंस जितना हो जाएगा। कुछ समझा नहीं। एक्सेल खेले? मैं लैपटॉप लेके आता हूँ।
for me, when we are trying to show them a visual which has not been done before, it's always about, it's like playing dumb charades. Like, you know, you feel restricted, but it is a beautiful challenge to really enjoy because you have to get your feeling across more than anything else.
वर्ल्ड कप तो पहले भी देखा होगा, और कभी विकेट से क्रिकेट देखा है?
Actually, you know, I mean, all the work that has won has gone through the same process, right? Whether it won 4 or 6 or 7 or 1, they're all the same, right? They're all the same. Each one has taken the effort and the toil to make it happen. So, I think every work which has won has been, you know, beautiful because of that.
And with that, it's a wrap on this episode. You can follow Melt on social media. The handle is Ready to Melt, or simply log on to readytomelt.com. If you'd like to follow me, I'm @Suvenk on Twitter. Till next week, goodbye and thanks for watching.